Hello everybody, Wannabe Reviewer here, and welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell from the thumbnail description and probably title itself, today I will be covering a movie called 1917. Now, 1917 is a World War I movie directed by Sam Mendes, and for the last month or so, it's been gaining quite a bit of buzz, quite a bit of attention, even some, award nominations, because apparently a lot of people really think that this is an outstanding film. Join me today as I talk a little bit about what the film is about, talk about stuff that I liked about it, maybe didn't like about it that much, good and bad, and then at the end, I'll talk about whether I think that it is a movie that deserves the praise, or whether or not I think it's a bit overrated, Before that, though, as always, I'd love to know what you guys have to say, so, whether it's before, during, or after my review, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below, letting me know what you thought of my review, what you thought of the movie, all that good stuff, alright? And one more thing, even though it feels like I'm shilling a little bit, but it seems to be working, so, But if you guys love my content, if you really, really enjoy it, please subscribe, because, I'm still trying to reach that, 1,000 subscribers, that golden number that YouTube wants us to reach in order to be considered like a legit YouTuber. So if you like my content, please consider subscribing. That way I can get closer and closer to finally reaching my, 1,000 subscriber goal. So, thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get started. So, as touched upon briefly before, 1917 is a British epic war film that was written, produced, and directed by Sam Mendes. In the film, 1917, it takes place in the year 1917, and it is set smack dab in the middle of World War I, in which we follow two soldiers named Lance Corporal Schofield and Lance Corporal Blake. Basically, we're introduced to these two characters. We can tell they have a little bit of a history together. They're kind of friends or whatever. And sure enough, when the movie starts, they're chosen for a two-man mission to basically deliver a message that, has to be delivered in order to save lives. Basically, what's happening is that everybody thinks that Germany is retreating. Britain thinks that they have Germany on the ropes. However, what they don't know, due to some new surveillance that's come out, aircraft surveillance, is that Germany is retreating on purpose because they're launching, some sort of like a sneak attack, counter, trap thing against Britain. So, unless they're warned, that British unit will attack, and if they attack, 1,700 lives will be, doomed. They're gone. They're dead. The way that these two soldiers are drawn into it, like I said, basically they're given a two-man mission to cross no man's land, go behind enemy territory, deliver the message, and not only will they save lives, but among those lives, one of them is actually Blake's older brother. So that's where it becomes a bit personal, So yeah, the film was basically about these two soldiers on this crazy mission against time itself to warn these people so they don't attack. That way, the lives won't be lost. And I kind of wish I could say more, but honestly, it's the kind of movie you have to watch yourself, because a big part of it's just these two soldiers on their mission, on the way there, and, that's basically, I can't really describe that. And not only that, but there's some twists and turns here and there that I don't want to spoil. So basically, that's all I can really say, but trust me, really interesting premise. That's what got me, really hooked on the movie. So when it comes to good, there's the premise. I think that is a really interesting premise. Usually I feel like in a lot of war movies, it's either about, some young recruit trying to prove themselves and go through the ranks, or it's just about some battle and how the battle needs to be won. And usually it's pretty, impersonal, right? Here, though, like I said, I like the premise because I think it's interesting how it's such a personal journey. So I thought that was really interesting. So I like that. Speaking of characters, I thought the characters were great. These two characters, Lance Corporal Schofield and Lance Corporal Blake, I thought both parts were acted very well. I thought the characters had a bit of chemistry between them. I thought it was interesting, the relationship where you can tell they're kind of friends, but at the same time, Schofield, since it isn't really his brother, he's a bit hesitant. and he's kind of wondering how he got dragged into this. So they have like that dynamic going on. So, you know, there's some hesitance, but they kind of push each other and they are friends, that sort of thing. So I really like the relationship between the two characters. And I did think that each of the characters was interesting in their own way. So that really, you know, helps sell the movie. Another thing that I really liked was the visuals and all like the technical stuff. For instance, I don't know if you guys know what a one-take shot is, but basically a one-take shot is where, you know, they try to use as few cuts or obvious transitions as possible, so it looks like the whole movie was done like in one take. So it literally looks like the camera's following all the action, non-stop, like the film just kept rolling, you know, all at once or whatever. And even though there are some places here and there where you can tell there was some cuts and transitions, that sort of thing, overall, the film did a really good job of just making it seem like it was basically one big take, you know? Like, it's just really masterful the way the camera follows the characters around, through all the danger, you know, all the things they're going through. Like, I just think the movie was really well done. And besides that, you know, other technical stuff, I thought the sound was great. I thought the way the shots were, you know, all these wide shots and just, I don't know how they're so gloomy and lonely, or they're so claustrophobic, or, you know, all the way the movie was shot, I thought it was great. And, you know, one of my favorite shots, I'll just talk about it briefly without, like, really spoiling it. There's a part where some of the characters, they're in a destroyed town, and basically the town, you know, it seems like it just got bombed recently or something. It seems like Germany, like, went through and destroyed it, and it's at night, and you can see there's a fire in the distance, kind of lighting everything up. And even though, like, the majority of, like, the scene is, like, at night, and it's mostly kind of, like, black and white, I love how you can see the fire in the distance, lighting things up, and then you get, like, this creepy part where, like, artillery starts falling, or getting shot or whatever, and so it's, like, kind of lighting up the night sky, and so you have, like, this really creepy, yet beautiful moment where a character's running through, like, the city, and, you know, like I said, you know, everything's getting lit up, and you have, like, this creepy music, and, like, I don't know, I was just really impressed, and I really love that part, and I think it's one of those things that, like, the big screen, like, you have to watch on the big screen, because it, like, really sells moments like that. And finally, I guess the last thing I would say is that even though the movie doesn't have a lot of action, you know, it's not really about, you know, like, big firefights or big war pieces or whatever, it still manages to do a really good job to bring us tension and, like, you know, action in its own way, I guess you can say, you know? Like, seeing them, you know, wander through no man's land, you don't really know if they're gonna get shot at, like, that was really tense. Seeing them, you know, run across German soldiers here and there, and, like, the stuff that happens there without spoiling it, like, there's a lot of tension there. Seeing how they have, like, a time limit, and they really have to get there before, you know, the British try to attack, and, you know, all the lives are gonna be lost. That's really interesting. So, I don't know, I thought it was interesting that even though there's not a lot of action, the movie still found a way to really make you care, really give, like, that tension, and really make it feel like, you know, they're kind of against the clock. So I really enjoyed that, you know? So yeah, that's it for when it comes to good. As I said, love the characters, love the premise, love the technical stuff, love the visuals, and I love, you know, like, the tension and stuff. Piggybacking off of that last one, though, I guess when it comes to some of, like, the negatives, I wouldn't really call it negative, but I know that some of the people I went to watch the movie with, they kind of saw it as a negative. And that's that, of course, like I said, there isn't a lot of action. Compared to something, you know, like Saving Private Ryan, or, I don't know, one of those films, like Duburcq, I guess, where they really focus on, like, the action and the firefights and that sort of thing. This movie isn't really like that. It's more about, you know, these two guys on a mission, stealthing around, wandering around, you know, trying to, like, make it to a certain place by a certain time. And they're just, like, a small little unit, so there's not really a lot of firefights. So if you're looking for a movie with a lot of action, it doesn't really have it. But, you know, that's honestly the only complaint I can really give. And I think the movie more than makes up for it, so I wouldn't even really call it a negative, honestly. So, you know, in the end, does the movie deserve all the praise that it's gotten and stuff? I would say yeah, you know. I think, like I said, there's lots of positives to it. Not really too many things that I would count as a negative. And I just really enjoyed the movie overall. You know, I think it's a great experience. I loved watching it in theaters. I recommend it. And I think if you can, like, you know, look past the part there's not a lot of action and just enjoy the movie for what it is, this movie about two friends on a mission to save lives or whatever, then I think you'll enjoy the movie too, you know? I love the movie, 1917, I give it 2 thumbs up, and yeah, I recommend it. I think it's worth watching, and I think that it really does deserve a lot of praise it's gotten, because you can definitely feel that a lot of love and care was put into this film. you know? But hey, as always, that's just my opinion. And remember, don't take anything that I say too seriously. After all, I'm just a wannabe reviewer. Thanks for watching.